Hello everybody. So I realized after the last lesson I made, which was all about creating velocities in a pop network, I realized that I forgot to explain what this variance is here, which is something quite simple, but it was also important and I just completely forgot about that, so sorry about that. So let's take a quick look at it. So if you remember in the last lesson, what we did was we made this this velocity here, and it's controlled by gravity, and then we added this bounce to it it looks pretty good, that one. But you will also notice that there's no real spread out of these. It all looks like it's all in unison, because it is. So let's take a look at what the variance is, which will help us solve this. So first of all, I'm going to remove the gravity. I'm going to hit the B key to turn that off. There we go, looking good. And this time what I'm going to do is let's change the velocity on this. So let's go to here, and I want to remove, let's remove it in Y. Let's see what that looks like. All right, maybe should we make it slower? Yeah, maybe. Okay, let's make it a little bit slower. Sorry, I'm a little indecisive here. Yeah, all right, that'll do for now. We can make it even more slower if necessary. So what the variance does is it allows us to change the velocity or randomize that velocity based on that variance. So at the moment I can see that we've got a velocity of 6, right? But the variance, if I say for example was to add 1 to this, it would now mean that each particle would have a different velocity, which would be somewhere between 7 and 5. So it's 1 more than the velocity and 1 minus 1 from the velocity. So in this case it would be 7 and 5. If I had it on 2, it would now be 8 and 4. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So let's take a quick look. We might not notice much here, but we have got some change in speeds. Can't see it very well there, so we'll look at a different example. Let me make the variance here 0, and we're going to look at this in Y instead. So let me move out a little bit. At the moment we can see it's just a straight line. So I'm going to create this variance to 1, and now what I've got is any random number which is going to fit between 1 and minus 1. Remember, 1 above 0, 1 below 0, so between 1 and minus 1 for that velocity for each particle separately. So what we should see is some going pretty much straight forward again, but some also coming more up and some going down. So let's see if we can see that. There we go. Now we're getting that spread, you see. That's cool, right? But notice it's just in Y. So if I go here, I can see that this part is still in very much a straight line. All right. That's cool though. All right, so let's look at another example. Let's do this also in Z. I'm going to make this 0, and now I should see it coming out. Let's go here. I should see this coming out on both sides. In fact, maybe here will be a better way to look at it. So here we can see it now coming out there, but there will be no Y on this. You see, the Y is still straight, and the X is just the same too. So really what I'm doing is the velocity on the Z is now between 1 and minus 1. Of course I can increase that, so it's probably easier to show this in the Y. So let's increase this to 2, see if that makes a difference. There, the spread is a bit bigger. Let's make this a really big spread. Let's make it 8. Oh, now we go. And what you'll notice is sometimes you'll see the ball and it'll have stuff coming all around it. So what I can do here is just add a variance in all different places. Now if I start this now, it's still going to have this X movement. Okay, so it's now spreading in all directions like a cone there, right? But it's still, of course, because of this velocity here. So let's reset this, make this 0, And let's see what happens now. Alright, now we're getting that ball which you've probably seen where it just comes out from all angles. Let's make that maybe a little bit faster. Let's increase the speed by 2. Alright, let's reset that. Alright. Looking good, right? Yeah, so that's basically how... Oh, one more thing. Don't let me forget. I'm going to turn back the gravity on. Alright, and now we'll see this. Whoa, it's all spread, nicely bouncing. What I might do there... Sorry, I'm fiddling way too much. Let's make this shoot up a bit more. So I'm going to make that variance of maybe 8. Let's see what this looks like. There we go, but it's also shooting down very quickly. I'm not sure if I want that. So let's maybe make this just 1. And I will make the velocity 8. This should go shooting right up. There we go. Alright, it's got like a kind of a fountain feel about that now, hasn't it? Alright, but anyway, you get the idea. So this variance is important because it will give you that spread that you're probably looking for most of the time. You often don't want it in just a straight line. You want to kind of play with those random movements a little bit because it tends to help with the believability of it. Okay, I'm going to shut up there, and you guys have a great day. And I apologize for not mentioning this in the previous lesson. All right, have a good time.